everyone, and welcome to another lesson. In the last lesson, we were able to see how we can use the weak map to track objects without preventing garbage collection. The way we saw in the last video show us that even though with the use of weak map to track objects, it still doesn't prevent garbage collection, which means that when it comes to memory optimization, weekly reference objects can be garbage collected. So the concept of garbage collection when we first treated it in the past lesson. Now, there are some things that you should be aware of, especially about weak map. Just as when we talked about these things when we were treating the weak set as well. Now, weak maps are not iterable. Now, when we're working with map, you realize that we were able to use things like for all, for each method in order to iterate over the element of the map. But when it comes to weak maps, the weak maps is not iterable, which means that you cannot use those methods that we use on the normal map object on them. Now, weak maps are not enumerable. You cannot iterate over the keys and value with for loops for each or key. So when it comes to the keys of weak map, you cannot iterate over them. You cannot access the size. You can as well not access the size of a weak map because it does not have size property. So the size of a weak map cannot be accessed. Now, aside from that, weak map provides a limited set of methods. Now, when we were talking about the map object, we discussed extensively about different methods such as the get method, the set method, the hash method, the for each method, the entries method, the keys method, different things, different methods of working with map objects. But the same cannot be said for weak map because of the fact that it provides a limited set of methods. Now, here on my screens are the few methods that is supported by Weakmap. The number one is the new Weakmap method. This creates a new Weakmap object. So the limited set of methods that can work with Weakmap, the new Weakmap method is one of it, which creates a new Weakmap object. So this is the Weakmap constructor that we normally make use of when we want to create a weak map. So this is one of the limited method that is supported by Weakmap. Number two is the get key method. Now, get the value for a key in a weak map. If you want to get the value for a key in a weak map, you will use the get method. Not that you will iterate over those keys to get value for each of keys. No, instead, it uses a get key method. Then another one is the set method that sets the key and value. So the set method sets the value for a key in a weak map so that you can get the value for a key in your map object. Also, we have the delete key. The delete key removes an element specified by a key. So the delete key also is one of the methods that is supported by a weak map when it comes to removing a specified element by a key. And lastly, we have the hash key. This returns true if a key exists in a weak map. So if something exists in a weak map that you are trying to check for, then you use the hash key to see if it contains whatever it is, a specified value or an expression that you are looking for in your weak map. So these are the limited set of methods that are supported in weak map, not all the general methods or different methods that we can use on maps or map object. So all those methods that we've treated and talked about when we're talking about map method are not the same thing that we can use on Weakmap. So Weakmap has a relatively limited set of methods, which are what I've mentioned here. The new Weakmap gets method, the set method, the delete method, and the add method. And also take note that weak maps are not iterable, which means that you cannot use things like a for loop for each method over them to iterate or loop over them. So these are the things to take note of when working with maps in JavaScript. In the next lesson, we'll move on from this and start talking about something else. Till then, I'll see you.